Okay, let's just dive right in. We are talking about one of the biggest, most complex simulation games of the year, Anno 17. It just dropped on November 13th.
And it's a huge deal. I mean, the ambition is incredible. You're managing these vast, intricate supply chains, colonial expansion. It's everything fans wanted.
There's always a but, isn't there? The multiplayer launch experience, well, it's been chaotic, to say the least.
That's putting it mildly. Our sources, and we're pulling directly from players on the ground on the game's subreddit, show that multiplayer has been severely compromised right out of the gate.
So our mission for this deep dive is super practical. We want to get you, the listener, up to speed on just how serious these launch issues are. We're talking about the infamous desyncs.
And more importantly, we're going to walk through the, let's call them creative workarounds the community has come up with just to keep playing.
We'll also get into the developer communication, or maybe the lack thereof. But first, this core issue, desyncs. What exactly does that mean in a game this complex? It's not just lag, is it?
Oh, not at all. In a game like Anno, a desync is, it's catastrophic. It means the simulation has fundamentally broken.
Broken how?
Think of it like this. Every player's computer has to be running the exact same version of reality, down to the last piece of wool a citizen consumes. If my game thinks there are 10 tons of wood, and your game thinks there are 5...
Then the whole thing just falls apart.
Exactly. The game realizes, wait, we're not in the same world anymore, and it just halts the simulation. It's a hard stop. That's why people are calling it unplayable. They're not exaggerating.
Unplayable. That's a rough label for a brand new AAA title. And from what I'm seeing, this isn't just a rare bug.
No, that's the main complaint. It's the frequency. Players are reporting it's happening every 2 to 3 hours.
Wow.
You can almost set your watch to it. It's not random. It feels like a systemic failure point.
And it gets worse, right? Because the desync itself is bad, but what happens after is the real killer.
That's the critical point. After the desync, players often can't even load their save file again. The error corrupts the session state. One source mentioned they've already lost 2 separate multiplayer saves.
Days of work just gone.
Gone. And you can feel the frustration in the post. One person said, it feels like trying to run a Accelerator's multiplayer game from GameSpy era on modern PC.
That paints a picture. It sounds like a real step backward.
It does, and it taps into this historical skepticism fans have. I mean, people are asking, does multiplayer ever work for an Anno game? Because they remember the launch of Anno 1800.
Right, that had its own set of issues.
It was plagued with connection problems. So players came into this one hoping those lessons were learned, and when they hit the same wall, that frustration just boiled over immediately.
So with no official fix at launch, the community did what it always does. It started experimenting. If you are playing Anno 17 on PC right now, this next part is, well, it's essential.
It is, and it's also completely absurd. The community is calling it the deletion method.
Okay, walk us through it. And let's be super clear, because we don't want anyone accidentally deleting their entire game.
Right. Caution is key here. So the desync happens. First, everyone in the game has to quit to the desktop. You can leave your Ubisoft or Steam client running, but the game itself has to be closed.
Okay, everyone's out. What's the next slightly terrifying step?
Every single player, this is a coordinated effort, has to navigate into their Windows user folders to find the Anno 117 directory. Inside, there's a folder named desync.
And you delete it.
You delete the contents of the folder, not the folder itself, just all the temporary log files inside it. It's basically manual garbage collection that the game should be doing itself.
So let me get this straight. You're telling me that every couple of hours, a whole group of players has to stop, close the game, go digging around in their system files, and delete stuff just to keep playing?
That's the routine. And once everyone confirms they've done it, the host restarts, sends out new invites, and you get back in.
Until it happens again in 2 hours.
Exactly. It's, as one user put it, rinse and repeat. It doesn't fix the root cause at all.
That is just wild. Were there any other, maybe less invasive tricks people found?
A couple of smaller things. One group of 3 players said that if they all completely restarted their computers, not just the game, the whole machine, they could get the save to load again.
Suggests something is getting stuck in memory, maybe?
Possibly. And another interesting one from some German streams was to turn the catastrophes game setting to low.
Catastrophes, like fires and plagues. How would that affect network stability?
Well, the theory is that those events are driven by complex random number generators. If those random numbers aren't perfectly synced across every machine, boom, desync. So fewer disasters might mean fewer chances for the simulation to break.
Wow. Players are literally trying to make the game less interesting just to make it stable.
That's how desperate the situation is. They also stress simple things, like making sure everyone is in the lobby before the host ever starts the game.
What about the stuff that didn't work? I'm sure people tried the obvious things.
Oh, yeah. And the sources are clear. Lowering graphic settings, changing who hosts, re-inviting people. None of that works. It's not a performance issue. It's a deep, fundamental synchronization failure.
Let's talk about the real cost of this, because it's more than just frustration. I saw one story about autosaves that was just heartbreaking.
This is where it really hits home. A group reported playing for 5 straight hours. 5 hours of building, optimizing, planning.
A normal Anno session, basically.
Right. Then they hit the desync error. And when they tried to reload, they found that every single autosave from that 5-hour period was unusable, corrupted.
No way.
The only save that worked was a manual save they had made at the very end of their previous session.
So 5 hours of intense strategic effort just vanished. That's
Yeah.
not like losing a mission in a shooter. That's losing a massive investment of mental energy.
You can't just do it again. You have to replan everything. It's incredibly demoralizing. And it means right now, manual saves are the only thing you can trust.
And the problems don't stop there. There's also a feature that players feel is just missing.
The speed up function. Fast forward. Any veteran of simulation games knows you need it. There are long periods where you're just waiting for a ship to cross the map or for resources to pile up.
Then in multiplayer, you can't speed up time.
It's just not there. So those lulls in the action become these long, tedious waits. It stretches a 3-hour session into 5 or 6. Combine that with the constant fear of desync.
It's a perfect storm of misery.
It is. And it led to this one quote that I think says everything about where player confidence is right now. Someone wrote, "We hope the MOD community bring the speed up function back. You are better than the devs."
That is a brutal statement. It's basically saying they have more faith in unpaid community members to fix the game than the actual studio.
It's a massive vote of no confidence. It suggests players feel the developers just don't understand how their own game needs to be played.
Now, to be fair, not everyone is equally outraged. I saw that comment from a Stellaris vet.
Right, and that was a great reality check.
Yeah.
He basically said, look, this is annoying, but it's totally fine, because he's been through the ringer with Paradox game launches, which are often much worse.
So there's a certain segment of the hardcore strategy community that's just built up a tolerance for this kind of thing.
The kind of grim acceptance, yeah. That extreme complexity sometimes comes with extreme instability at launch.
And what's the situation for console players? Is crossplay affected?
It is. PC and PS5 crossplay has the same desync issue. The good news for console players is they don't have to worry about deleting files, because they can't. They just have to suffer the desyncs. And a big warning, nobody should be deleting their actual save game files. That is not the fix.
Okay, let's pivot to the official response. The developers must know this is happening. What are they saying?
They have officially acknowledged it. They put out a statement saying they know co-op is unplayable for many, and that they're working on a fix that should be out shortly or in the next few days.
Okay, so they know. That's something.
It is. The information is out there on their Discord and other channels, but the way they communicated it has caused its own problems.
The vagueness, that word shortly.
Exactly. Players are frustrated. One user put it perfectly. Feel kind of let down. Just releasing the game and be like, by the way, multiplayer doesn't work. We know, and we aren't going to tell you a time span in which you expect it to work.
People want a roadmap. They want to know if it's worth even trying to play this weekend. Soon isn't good enough when you're risking another 5 hours of your time.
Precisely. They want that commitment. It's about managing expectations. And right now, expectations are at rock bottom.
So as we wrap this up, let's distill it down. What are the key takeaways for anyone trying to brave the world of Anno 117 multiplayer right now?
First, if you're on PC, you need to learn the deletion method. Clearing out that desync folder is, for now, your only real tool after a crash.
Second, and this is maybe the most important, do not trust autosaves. Make frequent manual saves. It's your only safety net against losing hours of progress.
And third, a fix is officially on the way. The developers say soon. So hopefully this era of being a part-time file janitor will be a short one.
You know, this whole situation points to this really complicated dynamic in modern gaming. Players are looking at this launch and saying the modding community might actually be better at delivering essential features than the developers.
Which leaves us with a final provocative thought. When you buy a massive, complex game like this, should you just assume that the community is going to have to be the one to finish the job? Is the modding scene now an unofficial part of the development cycle, responsible for delivering the stability and features that should have been there on day one? Something to think about while you're hunting for that desync folder tonight.